Hey, how are we doing? So this is an update on some of the wildlife stuff that I've been doing in my garden. A few people have been asking to find out what's happened to the native fish pond, the reptile enclosure, the perch aquarium, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to show you some of those things and what's happened. It's a very quick update purely because I've been super busy with filming. I can't make a full video that I'd like to, but the first thing I'm going to start with is the perch aquarium, or rather lack of perch in the aquarium. Now the eagle-eyed among you will see that these are not perch. Now I had to remove my perch from the tank some months ago. This was because they just got too big. They were feeding really well, they were really healthy and happy, but they packed on the pounds, well, ounces. So I released them back into the canal where I caught them from. There aren't actually that many perch in the canal, so I do occasionally see some perch in there, and I often wonder if they're my perch. Currently, I've got tropical fish in the tank. These include ghost catfish, black widow tetra, mollies, guppies, tiger barbs, clown loach, and a few other bits and bobs mixed in there. Now, I haven't kept a tropical tank for years, like over a decade, and I've really enjoyed it, though I have to admit I'm getting itchy feet now, so I'm not sure whether to maybe rehome some of these tropicals and have a native coarse fish tank. So it's got tropicals in at the minute. I am thinking about swapping them out for a coarse fish tank and just having things like roach, rudd, some of those little stuff. So I might do that. I'm not sure. Let me know down below. What do you think I should do? Should I keep it as a tropical tank, or should I get some native coarse fish in there? Anyway, let's hop into the back garden and we'll go and have a look at some of that stuff. Now my wildlife pond is an absolute jungle at the moment. Last time I showed it off, it probably would have just been short grass. Now I've actually got a wildflower meadow all the way around it. I am working on a video about how to create a wildflower meadow. Been working on this for a while, so hopefully that'll be out sometime later in the year. But I was thinking about doing a video about my wildlife pond. Not so much how to make a wildlife pond, there's 1,000 videos already on YouTube about doing that, but maybe a video about how to maintain your wildlife pond and things you can add to an existing wildlife pond. So if people would like to watch that sort of thing, let me know and I'll cook something up in the near future. Now the reptile enclosure, not much to report really, no major changes. The midwife toads didn't make the winter. It's a shame really. It's been over a year and I've not seen them. There's always the risk they could be hiding in there, but I'm pretty sure they didn't make the winter that we had. The European pond turtle, it just felt like there wasn't enough space for it. It grew really well, it was doing pretty healthy, but I ended up rehoming it just because there wasn't enough room for the turtle. The yellow-bellied toads are doing pretty good. And since then I've added natterjack toads to the enclosure. I should point out that these are German captive bred specimens, not UK ones, which require a license to keep. Further down the line I'm considering getting some fire salamanders, or maybe some Spanish ribbed newts to also add to my enclosed reptile houses. The native coarse fish pond's doing well. I added some mesh because I was having problems with cats, and I also put some cat spikes along the back of it. On the whole though, they've not been a major nuisance. Now we've just had some of the warmest weather on record in the UK, so there is naturally going to be a fair bit of algae on the top. I do remove a little bit of the blanket weed, but on the whole it's not really affected the fish. When I'm getting these really warm spells, generally speaking, they're going down to the bottom. I did a temperature reading the other day, actually on the warmest day, and it was 18 Celsius at the bottom of the pond when it was 37 Celsius outside the pond. So even without a filter, the fish are still kept relatively cool. With the water being so weedy and deep, I don't see much of the fish. Occasionally see some of them skirting around the top, but they're mostly left to their own devices. The only additions that I've added to the pond have been flounder. I managed to get a small flounder which is doing really well. It's been in there now for 6 months and it's been surviving absolutely fine. And I've added some silver bream and a couple other little bits and bobs. I'm on the lookout for 1 or 2 more species hopefully to put in there, but for the most part I'm happy with my native fish pond and I'm not planning on doing any major changes. Well, that was a very brief update, but just lets you know how everything is doing. I'm working on a meadow video at the minute. I've been working on this for about a year now, so literally from starting the meadow from scratch all the way to completion. I'm hoping that'll be out in the next couple of months. Let me know if you want me to do a wildlife pond video. I was thinking about making one about my wildlife pond, or if you've got anything else you'd like to see, kind of wildlife gardening or otherwise, comment down below. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers. Thanks for watching. You can check out some other videos in the links here. Also check out my website and social media, as well as the podcast that I host, the Bearded Tits Podcast. Cheers.